Hey guys, Alex with Bay Cities Construction here, and this is the Bay Cities Construction Show. Today we're going to unbox a beautiful Hansgrohe faucet set. So we're looking forward to sharing this with you. So let's get started, guys. Tonight's episode, we're talking about Hansgrohe. By the way, I haven't been paid or anything like that, compensated in any way. This is just a straight unboxing. This is an actual faucet system that we selected, or Wendy selected for one of our clients. So we're just going to unbox it for the first time and go through it together and kind of give you some feedback on what we think. And like always, we have our Alex's Trivia Corner where I get to stump you. And if you answer the right question, I always send you a little free gift by mail. So guys, let's kind of get into it. Hansgrohe is a German company founded by a German in Germany. So it's kind of an older company, established back in 1901. Originally, Mr. Grohe ran a metal spinning company, which makes sense because if you look at the shapes of the shower heads, they're spun metal. Kind of pretty cool. So this is a shower head from the 1910s and the Grohe family and some of the first employees and stuff, which is kind of cool. Little throwback. But today, the Hansgrohe company is a very different company. It's a global provider of, they call it sanitation products, but they're faucets, real high-end, nice, super tip-top quality, modern, sleek faucets. Guys, let's get into it. Let's unbox our first set. We're going to go through the vanity faucets. We're going to go, and then we'll go through the shower system. And we actually have two different kinds of vanity faucets in the same finish. So really kind of excited to share that with you. So let's do it. All right, guys. So let's get started with the first one. This is actually a single hole faucet. Okay, so it's not a widespread. It's a single hole, and it's got your kind of owner's manual. And this is what so they have a few different handle finishes with the same spout. And pretty much all of these setups come with like this little drain assembly and the I'm gonna open this. Hey, by the way, when you get these from the store, always inspect these, make sure there's no kinks or anything, because this is going to be very visible once it's it's installed in the sink. So what you're looking for is making sure there's no scratches or anything on it. See if that helps, but make sure you put the little protector thing back on. So this is a pretty, kind of like my first impressions are, this is a very stout, a lot of bronze, a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight. So there's that's for your stopper. Really smooth operation between the hot and cold, on and off. They'll come with these compression things. So this is pretty much your clamp. This is the section that would be under the sink, and this is your little gasket, keeps the water from kind of seeping under there. Pretty neat little setup. Feels good quality. The finish, the polish is nice. You know, has a very interesting look. It isn't just straight gold. Like, I don't think the picture on the screen does it justice. The one on the slide, I think this is a very, how do I say it? It's a very subtle gold. So as I'm kind of rotating it in the light, you'll see that some part, it's darker in the shade and does have a little sheen. Can you see that? That's pretty cool. Hey, I think overall the quality of the fittings, has a high compression fitting. The overall fit and finish is real nice. This has an aerator, so you can remove this in case it gets clogged with grit or anything like that. There's a little flat section, and this basically unscrews. Clean it out, put it back in. You're good to go. So it's a nice little. Well, pretty much all faucets have that feature. So if I were to grade this on finish, I think it's from 1 to 5. 5 being really good, 1 being looks kind of cheap and cheesy. I'd give this a 5 on the finish. If you're to grade it on operation, smoothness, It's definitely like a 4.5. And, you know, honestly, it's a little bit, I don't think it's sticky. It's smooth and everything, but the issue, I guess, is that it's still new. So I think from using it, from breaking it in, it'll even get a little bit softer and smoother. All right, hey, let's go to the widespread. All right, so we're going to go through the widespread. By the way, the name of this faucet is the TALIS. Brian will put the name and stuff in the description. So let's look at this thing. So remember, this is going to have the spigot. So this is widespread. So you see it doesn't have the controls on the top. It's just basically the spout. So these are the stems. This is actually kind of cool because you can't see this in the single hole. See, this is all brass. This is the stem for the hot or cold. Very nice. So basically, this is the actual workings of the inner valve, right? And this is the trim piece. It feels heavy, feels solid. A lot of other manufacturers, when they're trying to cut the cost, they'll make this out of plastic, and they'll put a coating over it that flakes like in a year. This just feels solid. Some of the trim pieces. So this is basically what you'll see. Kind of the assembly goes. Assembly goes like so. This is all under the sink. And there's your trim and your deal like that. Is that good? That's kind of the gist of the assembly. So my thoughts on like this piece also comes in contact with a lot of water. Right, it's the base. The finish is very nice. You can see the inside, the spinning marks are still in there, but the outside that you see, it's been sanded and buffed and polished out. It's very nice fitting. The little sprockets are nice and sharp. Well made. You know, I got to tell you that, what's the MSRP on this thing? It's $500. I think it actually sells for like $325 or something like that, $350. It's a great faucet for $350. I mean, for the quality. I think valve-wise, it's very good quality. Value, what you get for your money, I think it's a great value. Look, I mean, some of you might post, oh, you know, $300 is not a cheap valve, blah, 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 this and that. Well, if you factor that it's going to take maybe $300 or $400 in labor to put these in, you buy a little $100 cheap faucet at the big box chains, and then you have to replace it in a year because it's leaking or broke or the finish is flaking off of it. You know, I think that cheap faucets are a big waste of time. So let's look at the assembly for. Let's look at the assembly for the shower and the shower heads and the knobs and all that good stuff. You know, kind of an interesting thing is when we were researching Hansgrohe, there's another brand that's very similar. It's called Grohe, and that brand is actually from the son of the original owner. He came up with a competing line, and those are actually less expensive. Not the same quality. I think it's more of a consumer-sized deal. So this is the shower drain. This is one of the harder things to match in the finish. We're gonna try and get Wendy on the phone here after we do the unboxing and see what inspired her to pick this color, because this is an actually unusual color. Let's open a couple of these things here. So this is the arm for the shower head. What I'm going to open up right now is the pressure. Okay, so this is the actual valve. So this is the temperature control and the flow. So it looks like this setup is going to be a single function valve, meaning there's no hand wand or anything like that. So one controls the flow and the other one controls the temperature. So basically on and off, and then the flow. So let me put that here. This is your trim. Okay, so this is a good example of what I'm talking about. So this trim piece, see how cool that looks? Well, it's plastic on the inside. That goes there. But the piece that you actually touch and interact with is this one. And this is made out of metal. So this is the one that you, actually there's a little stop. It's kind of cool. But that goes like that. This other knob goes like so. There's a set screw here that I got to reduce. That's why I'm not gonna force it, 'cause it's just gonna mess it up. But so they saved a few bucks by not spinning this out of metal. You know, the MSRP, by the way, on this thing is $900. You'll probably find them in the stores for $750-ish, $725, something like that. So I think the whole setup will be with the shower head, the arm, and all that good stuff, probably about $1,100. So here's the control plate. This is light. It's definitely plastic. You can see here the backside. So again, guys, this is how you get this down. If this was a Newport brass, full all metal deal, this whole setup would be $3,000, maybe $4,000, right? So this whole setup is going to be about $1,100. So the trade-off on cost is that you're going to have to get some plastic. All right, here's a shower head. This shower head definitely feels nice and sturdy, heavy. It's got a set screw on the back side right here. See that right there? So that basically helps lock it in place. This is the Rain Dance shower head with an MSRP on its own of $800. Again, this is probably gonna be about $625, $650. It's got these little micro nozzles. This is gonna have a very fine spray pattern. Again, I think that's a very unusual color. What do you guys think? I'd like to hear some feedback that you guys may have. Go ahead and post in the comments below. Well, that was the unboxing. So I just want to kind of share with you a little bit of insight on kind of the dynamics behind picking out your faucets for your bathroom. So I would say there's two main things that people consider. Number one, it's obviously the look. That's kind of like the first thing that you see. It attracts you. Do you like the feel of it? Do you like the style of it? Do you like the function? You know, is it smooth operating? That type of thing. That's definitely a component of it. The second part is the feel. And the feel is a very tactile type of a thing, particularly the shower heads. Many of you have used a shower head that like sucked, like maybe the gym in high school or college, or you stay at a hotel or a cheap hotel or a nice hotel, and the shower heads are very different, right? So the experience of how the water hits you is very different. And there's a few of the showrooms that we use that have live water where you can actually put your hand out and have the water hit you. So those are kind of really important things to spend a little bit of time thinking about. You know, there's a tremendous amount of options on the finishes on what it's going to look like. Is it going to be chrome or brushed nickel, or in this case, this brushed bronze, which is a type of a gold. So that's definitely one. But take the time to go to the showroom and put your hands on the fixtures and operate them. I know at my house we have hard water here in Redondo. And the shower head's kind of starting to clog up, so I got to take it out and clean it and stuff and do a little maintenance. But the reason that I bring that up is because as the jets have gotten clogged with hard water, the spray is a lot harsher than it normally is, and that contributes to the feel of it. Now, some of you may be picking out your plumbing fixtures for a master, at which you have a tub. So the tub filler, many times we've gotten complaints from customers that the tub filler is very noisy when it fills a particular freestanding tub. So if you have it's always adjacent, the bathroom's adjacent to the master bedroom. When you're filling up the tub, it could be very noisy. You could hear it in the other room. So you have to think about those things. You may not be surprised how annoying that may be. And there's a few things that we can do in the installation, how the water hits the tub, the angle, where it hits it versus the center of the tub or the wall of the tub. And along with the fixture itself, how does the water flow out of the fixture and then hit the tub? So these are some of the things that I think you should consider. That's why I think it's so important that people sit and talk to Wendy, our designer, and kind of work through all of these things. And for many of you, this is the first time that you've done a project this big. So these are things that you may not even be aware of, and I think it's a really good. It's definitely a good thing to talk to a professional and work through it to make sure you're getting the right product for your space. So with that said, I want to call Wendy and get her feedback and see how it is that she picked out this faucet for this customer. So let's get Wendy on the line, Brian. Get her on the phone and let's talk about this beautiful Hansgrohe brushed bronze plumbing fixture. Now, you may be surprised by the production value of this situation over here, but, we're more than the average contractor here as far as talent and imagination. So we got Wendy on the line? Wendy!
I'm here.
Hey, Wendy, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, so we just did an unboxing here at the office, and, this is kind of a little bit of a sporadic thing and kind of not out of the blue, but definitely a little bit impromptu. So, hey, I hadn't really been involved with you and the customer during the design phase. You guys kind of dove in deep. So I want to talk to you a little bit about this brushed bronze series from Grohe that you picked out for our customer.
Sure.
So it's definitely a modern type of faucet, right? All the Hansgrohe stuff is. What did you pick out? Like, kind of what was the thinking, and what did the client tell you? Why did you guys go in this direction?
So this particular client, she did not want chrome or brushed nickel. She wanted kind of a warmer finish. So that's why I kind of guided her towards the brushed bronze. She liked the idea of gold. Um, the These faucets are a much more affordable direction to go if you want the gold look, because they can range, a lot as far as price goes. There's so many different gold finishes. There's the shiny gold, the brush gold, the bronze. So this gave her that warm look with an affordable price. And in the shower, we're doing a tile that has a marble look that has some gold going through it. So it's going to help tie in that tile with the fixtures.
It's gonna look
And then
nice.
she'll probably also do the hardware on the cabinets, we'll do with a brassy finish. And basically, it was because she didn't want what everybody else had. A lot of people are doing brushed nickel, and uh, gold is trending right now.
Yeah.
You'll see it all over the place.
No, I've seen definitely a lot of gold stuff on gold plumbing fixtures on social media right now. So look, I think it's a little bit misleading that they call it the brush bronze. It really is kind of like a brush gold, right?
It is more gold. Each manufacturer has different names for the finishes, and they're all a little bit different. This one, instead of being bright, like a lot of the golds are brighter, this one has a warmer tone.
Yeah,
So I think that's why they call it the brush bronze.
got it.
And it's not shiny. That's why they use brushed. It's got a little bit of a more matte finish to it.
Right on. What are you guys worried about, like water spots? Because a lot of times our customers, they ask us about, are you going to see water spots like in chrome? Everybody hates it because in about 6 months it looks all hammered.
Yes, the brushed. I believe that the brushed fixtures, they do not show the watermarks. They don't show the white uh, corrosion as quickly. Um, that's why we always go with a higher end product so that our clients have a longer lasting finish. If you buy the ones, the less expensive brands, those tend to wear out or the finish peels off of them.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Definitely. Hey, so I noticed that you found the drain cover, right? The matching drain cover is always a little harder with some of these custom finishes. What do you remember the drain manufacturer, or was it a matching
yes,
growing?
I believe we did Newport Brass. So a lot of the companies don't do matching shower drains. Um, so usually I'll opt to, if I'm doing brushed nickel, I can find, Kohler does them.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of different companies do them. Um, Newport Brass has a very wide variety of colors. They have several different gold or bronzy looks. And that was the one that we found that was the closest color. And the Newport Brass is, a high-end brand. So we know one of the most important things is the drain because the water is on that all the time. So
100%.
you want to go with something that is very high quality.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Well, Wendy, hey, thanks for your input. I think we're going to do a segment of this alone, where we maybe unbox some of the stuff together. But thanks for chiming in and giving us a little bit of perspective on why you helped the customer select this Hansgrohe faucet.
Anytime.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, so this next segment we're going to talk about is Hansgrohe right for me. You may be considering a bathroom model. You're looking at a bunch of different faucets and different brands. And Hansgrohe is the faucet we're talking about this week. So let's kind of get into that a little bit. So I would say, hey, if you have a taste for a modern, sleek type of a bathroom, which is going to be, real clean, sleek lines, minimalist type of a look, I think Grohe is definitely a brand you should consider. The quality is good. They make it in a few different countries. A lot of people think, well, they come from Germany. Well, there's actually a plant here in the U.S. in Georgia. There's another plant. Actually, there's several plants in Germany, and there's a plant in France and one in Shanghai that covers the Asian market. The plant that's in Georgia apparently is pretty big. It serves North America, and Lord knows Americans love their Hansgrohe faucets. So, something to consider. Hansgrohe is not a cheap faucet, okay? But it's not on the upper echelon of price. As you could see when we unboxed it, there are some components that are made out of plastic. And that's 100% to do with price. That is how you get the price point down. If you want a faucet that practically has no plastic, you're going to spend $3,000, maybe $4,000 for basically the shower setup. So consider that. That's going to be your trade-off. They have a very good warranty, and because a lot of the components are made here in the U.S., you should be able to find replacement parts in the event that you have a warranty claim. So this is, I think, unattainable luxury at a price point that is completely doable, especially if you're doing maybe a multifunction bathroom, multifunction shower, and maybe you're using it in the master. You're gonna have a separate tub set up and a double vanity setup. So this price point is good because if you were to have like I said, like a Newport Brass, you're gonna be a 3 or 4x price point. So just think about that if you're when you are considering your price versus value. So hey, the next part of the show is Alex's Trivia Corner. Yeah. If you get the answer right, we send you a free gift by mail. So today's trivia question is going to be, what waterproofing method remains popular for showers in the West Coast? A hot mop, which is what's in this picture. B, a cold mop. C, a mortar float. Or D, epoxy liner. So for the first of you guys to get it right, we'll send you a free surprise by mail. This shower pan, by the way, is done by our friends at CV Shower Pans. They do amazing shower pans. For those of you completely stunned or stumped by what the answer is, the hint is right there. You know what time it is? It's time to drill down on some questions. Hey guys, this is what makes the show fun. So hey, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. We are always looking at the past shows over the next 2 weeks and answering your questions on the comments. But if you have any questions live for us on the live show, we're going to answer those right now. Brian, what do we got, man?
Hey, Alex, somebody has a question here. Somebody wants to know, Alex, is Hansgrohe worth considering if it has plastic components?
Yes. Like I mentioned before, if you didn't capture or if you didn't watch that part of that segment of the show, Hansgrohe does have some components. It's a higher end faucet, but it does have some trim components that have plastic. They're made out of plastic. They have a very good warranty for them, but the entire, the stem and the rest of the valve is 100% brass, which is what gives you longevity. The trim parts, if they kind of wear out or they fade or they start to chip, that could be handled through their warranty. But I definitely think so. Look, this is a price point situation. If you have the money for something that's 100% all metal, like a Newport brass, that's going to be 3 or 4 times the price, then, by all means, use that. But if you want a very similar look at a much lower price point, I think Hansgrohe is a great brand.
Another viewer wants to know, how long will fixtures like these last?
Well, I think the valve itself could last 10, 15 years. The variable is the hard water. If you have a water softener or a filter, a whole house filter, you're going to basically extend the life of all of these fixtures for a long, probably a 2x. So if let's say a $100 plastic valve or somewhere between $80 and $150 for a vanity faucet, that may last a year and a half. It could hit 2 years, but it not much more than that. Where these faucets, I think very easily 10 years plus. I think that's very plausible.
Another viewer wants to know, do they sell Hansgrohe in Home Depot or Lowe's?
No, they don't sell these faucets typically at Home Depot or Lowe's. You have to go to Ferguson's, Universal, or some of the more specialized plumbing showroom places.
Another viewer wants to know, Alex, would you install Hansgrohe in your own house?
I would totally install Hansgrohe in my own house. I don't. My look is not a modern type faucet like what they have, but as far as like the brand, like the confidence in the quality and in its performance, I have high confidence in its quality and performance. I don't really have a modern type bathroom, so I don't know that we would install it at my house, but I definitely don't have a problem installing it. If you're designing a modern bathroom, I think it's a great faucet to use. I think it should be on the top, maybe the top 3 for consideration as far as a plumbing fixture brand. I like them. They're cool.
Somebody else wants to know, is Hansgrohe truly a luxury brand?
I think Hansgrohe is totally a luxury brand. Yeah. I think when they first came to market, they've been in business for a long time, but I think when they became widely popular, they were viewed as like the top tier. However, over the last 10, 12 years, there's a lot of new competing brands from all over the world. There's Italian brands, there's some Chinese brands, and a lot of the competitors like Delta, Moen, that have always done a lower price point faucet have upped their game and come up with some competing sets. But you'll see that most of the faucets that they steal a lot of their looks. Hansgrohe came up with a lot of their sleek lines. They're really theirs. They were kind of first to do them, to sculpt them, if you will. And there's a lot of copycats for their look. So it's always, the trippy part with me is that, whether I'm at a restaurant and I go to the restroom and use the vanity faucet, you can always see a Hansgrohe. You can always recognize a Hansgrohe faucet from far away because they have a very distinctive look. So, I'm pretty excited about the new finishes that they're coming out with. I think that is an enhancement. And by the way, we're going to be going to the kitchen and bathroom show in Las Vegas. We're definitely going to the Hansgrohe booth, and we're looking forward to getting some really cool footage of some of their faucets and some of the other ones there too. So be on the lookout for that. All right, guys. Wrapping it up. Guys, if you want to learn more about kitchen bathroom remodeling or anything construction related, please check out our website. We've been in business for 18 years, but that was last year. To this year, we're going to turn 19. We're excited about that. And like always, I always throw a little special something, a little special hidden offer for those of you that watch our videos to the end, and I really appreciate that. If you live in the South Bay here in Redondo or Hermosa, Manhattan Beach or PV, you may have seen our billboards. So this is the offer. I'm going to give you 2 hours with Wendy. All right, it's $150 an hour. 2 hours with Wendy, that's $300 for free, for you to talk about your next project with her. I'm not going to charge you anything. You don't have to sign anything. You can come into the office. You can meet her at one of the showrooms. You can meet her at Universal. You can meet her at Pacific Sales. You can meet her at Ferguson's, and shop for fixtures for a couple hours, or just talk to her and maybe have an in-home consultation with her for free. So that's my thing. So the deal that you have to do, though, is you have to take a picture, a selfie of yourself in front of one of our billboards, post it on social media, and send Brian the link, and we'll get you set up with that. So that's going to be good. It's a sweetheart deal. So I'm going to make that offer, extend that offer through Valentine's Day. Okay. So if you take a selfie in front of one of our billboards, send it to Brian before Valentine's Day, you get 2 hours with Wendy for free. And it's at my expense. I'll cover it. You're going to have fun. If you have never worked with a designer, man, Wendy's super, super cool. She really listens to you, and she brings you and your significant other into the conversation. And you're going to make, she's going to make sure you're on the right product. You're picking the right stuff, the right price point, etc. So check it out. So these are some of the locations of our billboards. We're on Inglewood and the 405 on both sides of the street, or both sides of the billboard. And then we have another billboard on Hawthorne over by 182nd by the Chick-fil-A. And if you live in South Redondo, where I live, love Redondo, PCH in Torrance over the Cozy Cafe, or by the liquor store, PCH in Pearl. So it doesn't, you just take a selfie in any of those. It doesn't matter which one. Send it to Ryan, and we'll set you up with some design time. Hey guys, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. It tells YouTube and Facebook that this content's good. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to let you know when the next videos is jumping. We have some very exciting lineups for this year. We're going to go to the KBIS. We're going to spend a week over there. We're looking for new vendors, looking for new products and stuff, and we're really excited to bring that to you. If you haven't done so, hey, catch the replay with Greg Roberts. He talks a lot about, on that segment, we talked about the South Bay real estate market, and it's got some pretty cool info. This is our team, guys. If you're thinking about doing a remodel, you don't need just one contractor. You need a team. You need a team of pros. And I've spent my adult life putting this team together, building this company here in the South Bay, here in California. And we've got some great vendors. We've got some great products. And we want to just share our wisdom and our experience with you. You're going to benefit from that. You're going to get a beautiful project. And, we're cool, mellow, nice people to deal with. So, again, check it out. Check it out if you haven't done so already. It's been a pleasure to share another episode 58 with you of the Bay Cities Construction Show. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the fun. We're coming to you live from KBIZ. My name's Alex Rodriguez, reminding you, you don't need a contractor, you need a team of pros.